subscribed to the channel thus far. We are at 54 subscribers and we are going on the road to 100. Also, our big giveaway has been completed, and the giveaway winners have been posted to the community, posted to Facebook. They will be posted to Instagram, and they are posted will be posted on TikTok and X. So congratulations to our 3 big winners, and congratulations to all of our 50 subscribers who also have won a free 20-minute coaching session with me, Midwest Survivor. So whenever you're interested in redeeming your 20 minutes of free coaching, please reach out to me on the community, on Facebook, on TikTok, and X, and I'll be more than happy to schedule your free coaching session, which will be done over Zoom. So today's Breakfast Bits topic is rebuilding your heart after disappointment. I also want to apologize too. We didn't do dinner chat last night. We had some technical difficulties. So I will be doing a dinner chat this afternoon before dinner chat tonight, so to kind of get caught up. So, uh, so rebuilding your heart after disappointment is probably one of the hardest, most difficult emotional things that a person can do. It is probably even the hardest part of disappointment is losing the person, losing an opportunity, losing a dream, and trying to figure out how to trust your heart again. Disappointment and emotional pain can change you. Relationships end. Someone breaks a promise. Friends walk away. Family members let you down. Job opportunities disappear. A dream doesn't work out the way you imagined it. And suddenly you start questioning everything. You start realizing, how did I not see this coming? Are there people that I can connect with that will rebuild my trust again? Should I stop expecting good things? Should I stop believing in love? And let me tell you something. Not only as a life coach, but as somebody that has experienced these things, these things that happen, not seeing things coming, trying to trust people again, trying to re-believe in love, should I stop expecting good things? Not only as a life coach, but as somebody who has experienced these things, I want you to remember something very, very important. And that is this. Do not let disappointment and do not let other people's failures or any kind of failure make the decision for your future. Being disappointed doesn't mean that you were foolish or you made a mistake or that you cared. It means you cared. It means you had hope. It means that you believed that things could turn out, the best way, turn out incredible. The reality is that, some things just don't work out, and not because you weren't worthy, and not because that you weren't a good person. It just means that circumstances, situations don't always turn out the way that we hope. And it's a painful thing to learn. It's a painful thing to experience, and it's a painful thing to undergo. But you don't have to immediately start trusting people again. You don't have to jump into another relationship again. You don't have to pretend that you're completely healed. It's very, very important that you take your time. You take the experience and the situations that life threw at you and pay attention. It's also important to pay attention to the red flags that you ignored. Understand that you need boundaries. Understand that you need to set boundaries, establish boundaries, and hold people accountable to those boundaries. And more importantly, the most important thing of all is to learn to trust yourself again. Learn to realize that, hey, I made a mistake. I made a choice that maybe I shouldn't have trusted, or maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. You've got to learn to trust yourself again. Rebuilding your life, rebuilding your heart, your mind, your emotions means that you are learning about yourself, that you are learning that you can make mistakes and still enjoy life. You can make mistakes and still learn. You can make mistakes and still grow. You can make mistakes and still trust yourself. You know, you can care about other people. You can care about about different things and never abandon who you really are. You can love yourself and love other people again without ignoring red flags. And you can hope again and believe again without losing boundaries. So don't punish the future for what happened in the past. You know, one of the biggest dangers after disappointment is carrying yesterday into tomorrow. You know, when you apply labels and situations to people that that may not necessarily be true because somebody else did something to you is not fair to the person that you're trying to rebuild a relationship with or learn to trust again. Someone hurt you, so you can't so you assume automatically that everybody's going to hurt you. Somebody lied, so you believe that nobody can be trusted. One relationship failed, so you decide that love doesn't work. One opportunity disappeared, so you stop trying. But that's giving the past and yesterday all the power over your life. The next person's behavior didn't cause the next person. The next person didn't cause the last person's behavior. The next opportunity isn't responsible for the last disappointment. And your future doesn't deserve to be punished for what happened in your past. Here's the important thing to remember. Build healthy boundaries. You don't build walls. There's a big difference between protecting your heart and closing it off completely. The wall says that nobody can get in. A boundary says you can come in, but you will respect me, and there will be lines that you will not cross. That is extremely powerful. You don't have to become cold to become wiser. You don't have to stop loving and you don't have to stop believing. You can simply become more intentional about who receives access to you. Give yourself permission to hope again. Maybe you're disappointed right now. Maybe you wanted something that didn't happen. You know, give yourself permission to grieve over it. Maybe people let you down. Don't let disappointment convince you that there is nothing good in your life ahead of you. There are still people you haven't met. There are still opportunities that are still yet to be discovered. There are places that you have never even been to. There are dreams that you have never pursued, and experiences you haven't even imagined yet. Your heart may be tired, but it isn't finished. So take your time. Heal, learn, set boundaries, set better boundaries. Trust yourself again. And when you're ready, open your heart. Not because you've forgotten what happened, but because you learn to protect yourself without becoming someone you don't recognize. Disappointment and bad situations can change you, but they don't have to harden you and they don't have to shape your future. Let it make you wiser. Let it make you stronger. Let it teach you that you deserve to succeed, to achieve, and more importantly, to love and learn and experience life wholly and fully. And most importantly, do not let one painful chapter of your life convince you that the entire story is going to end the same way. So let's wrap this up. And how do I always leave you? You need to get healthy. You need to be healthy. You need to stay healthy. You need to get strong. You need to be strong. You need to stay strong. And remember, this is not about learning to survive life. This is learning about how to thrive. We thrive emotionally. We thrive mentally. We thrive financially. And we thrive in our relationships. So Midwest Survivor, I'll see you this afternoon for the Abridged Dinner Chat.